Hello, guys. Welcome to the Better Podcast. Another day, another episode, and another amazing person here to tell us his story. Right. So today, first of all, before I go into our speaker, of course, if you've never been here, welcome. Please like, subscribe, share. Just join the party. It's going to be fun. This is a podcast for people who want to get better. If you want to move forward in your life, you want to learn some things, a lot of how-tos right there for you to check. You can check in the videos that we have here. If you want to grow as an individual, whether young or old, this is the podcast for you. Right. But let's go into a word that I didn't get. I thought I'm a baby boomer by soul, right? But a millennial by body. And so I didn't know this term for a very long time. But it is Yagi, right? And Yagi means young and getting it. And of course, it doesn't always just mean money. It actually means vision, discipline, purpose, actually knowing what you want to do and actually doing it, right? And there are very few people who actually know what they want to do and then do it. But our guest today is one of those people. He is my certified partner in being the black sheep of the family. And I'm saying this because that is what I used to describe people who say they are CEOs and entrepreneurs in this Nigeria, right? So, but he's the CEO of SlickX and Vogue. We will sell that market later. We'll talk about it later. But he is also somebody I've known since he was in secondary school. And he has always been a go-getter. He has always been somebody who does what he says. And I'm extremely proud to know him. I'm promising him right here, right now, so that when he blows, right, guys, there's evidence that we know each other. His name is none other than Femi Adebayo. Please, you guys, emojis in the chat box. Welcome him to our podcast. Welcome, Femi. Very happy to have you. Wow, see his deep voice has come in. That's money voice. All right. So Femi, I have a question for you, and this question is a question I like to ask everybody because I feel like it's a very insightful question. And that question is simply, what was your first? What do you think is the first thing that you remember about your childhood? Your earliest childhood memory?
Okay, for me, it definitely has to do with being disciplined. So for me, growing up is kind of different from, different people have different way they grew up as. But for me, it was more of being disciplined.
Okay.
So discipline in terms that, different people, some families, the mother is disciplined, the father is not.
Mm-hmm.
But for my own side, as expected, the father is disciplined.
Yeah.
So that particular memory for me is still what is still in me today. Because for me, even anytime I'm talking to my dad, some people like this now, as most likely as you are right now,
Yeah.
if you're talking to your dad,
Yeah.
most likely will not be
Serious.
unlike when you were small.
Yeah.
But for me, till now, is
It's still serious.
sometimes I still even look down. When I'm talking to
Wow.
yeah, so that memory is still there for me. And, I'm still using it.
Yeah, still
go from it.
right. Okay, love that actually. So discipline is something that held true for you since you were young. Okay, so I'm just going to take that as a starting point to say, what do you think that discipline now? So just give us a story, right? Something that you feel like that was the first time you actually felt like you practiced that discipline in your life.
Okay. So now, for me, like I said, discipline. So while growing up, I've always realized that if you are working towards something,
Mm-hmm.
right? Even the Bible says that he who fails to plan has what
Plan to fail.
And if you have a plan
Mm-hmm.
and which is the starting point for not failing,
Mm-hmm.
but for you to be able to continue with that plan, you need to be disciplined. And that's where at least that attribute for me, has always been the fact that at least if I'm working towards something, even while I was in secondary school, working towards maybe an exam, you need to plan, you need to read, you need to study, go back and study, and that has helped me, in terms of at least my goals in life, working even as an entrepreneur, even while in the university, right? I've had times whereby even when I don't feel like doing something, but the fact that I'm this kind of person that if I'm working on something,
Mm-hmm.
I will tell my close people.
Mm-hmm.
And
You know what they will ask
I
you
don't
about
want
it.
them to like when I don't know,
Alpha.
I left halfway, right? So I always want to
Finish.
show up and give results. And the only way you can give results is through, being disciplined, through whatever you're doing, showing up every day. And so at least it has formed me as a man actually. And showing up is not just that, okay, one day you decide. Showing up is every single day you
Mm.
wake up,
Mm.
you need to, it's and I was reading a post this morning. It said being a male, is by birth, but being a man is by choice.
Mm.
So you need to learn that actually, and it's something that at least I key into every time that being a man, forming, because I do have siblings, and of
Mm.
course I have people that look up to me,
Mm.
right? So I have,
Don't want to let
I've
them
been
down.
points whereby they use me as example. So
Example.
now imagine you that they are using as
As
example,
example, you know.
go and fall and so in terms of my life decisions also, and not to say I'm perfect or I don't make
Yeah.
mistakes, but at least it's a founding energy for me that I have to be disciplined in whatever I'm doing.
Wow. Wow. Okay. Okay. So we're going to take it. Let's take side angle, right? Okay. So I know that you just said, okay, maybe from your father now, you learned the angle of discipline. Do you think that, for instance, I know you have a younger sister, right? That women can be disciplined. This is a yes or no question.
Women can be disciplined,
Yeah.
yes.
You feel like I'm saying this because I'm saying, so like you're thinking about it now in terms of responsibility as a man,
Yes,
right? But do you feel like it's an open thing?
yes.
Everybody should
It's a
be, right?
capital thing, so
Yeah,
applying to
exactly.
everybody.
Exactly. Now, let's break down this character thing of discipline, right? Because all of us have like different temperaments. For instance, let's say I don't want to use the terms yet, right? But the point is, let's say I'm somebody who is not even prone to discipline, right? It could have been an upbringing thing, but I feel like there's a part in you that they say your parents will give you a kobo, beko. You understand? Some people is a woman the other side. Do you understand? Do you feel like there's anything in you? Is there any, and you can think about it as a emotional thing. You can think about it. Anything that really feel like you really makes you want to get to the end of things, that makes you want to execute the things that you say you want to do, apart from the shame of you've told your friends and anything that really makes you, let me continue, because you could have chosen that your father could have taught you discipline and you could have been like, okay, keep your discipline.
Okay.
What do you think is that thing for you?
So for me, like I said, or like you started, you said, the Yoruba adage that says that, toba koe,
Eh,
wa tutura ko.
exactly.
And for me, it has to do with a point whereby I got to my life, and
Hmm.
about 2016 when I lost my mom, for instance, right, and it was more of starting a different aspect of your life. For instance, if you are already used to the fact that okay, when you are trying to do things, there are people that you can they do it for you, and
Help out.
maybe
You can
even
be dependent on.
so imagine when I was going for screening, I meet other people's mom, they are trying to help them with things. You understand? Trying to help them that, this is the case file,
Yeah, yeah. And it's
so
you or you.
that kind of thing that it's more or less like you don't have a choice anymore. You have to be successful. You
Mm.
understand? So I'm coming from a background whereby they will tell you that okay, even though you've lost your mom, it's not a stopping point for you not to be successful.
Mm.
As they'll tell you that
No
you go
easy,
dey
as if
explain
it's
tire. You
no
understand?
result.
No result. So and you want no the word as it is
Mm-hmm.
doesn't give room for people with excuses. It gives
Mm.
room for people with results,
Mm.
right? So if whether or not you lost your mom or you
Mm-hmm.
lost your dad, though it's normal,
It's
it's
a
valid,
yeah,
it's a valid reason,
yeah.
but that should also come from the point that
Well,
that fuel for yourself that you have to actually achieve this goal. That is very, very important for me. So that story about I lost, if I get to the point of how I lost my mom,
you can
what
tell us.
happened after, you
Mm.
know, for me, right? I was at a point whereby if I was planning to write WAEC actually that moment, and I was preparing for work at that moment. My dad was going to the hospital. My mom had cancer, right? And she was already at even second stage of cancer. And it was more, imagine how you are doing chemotherapy. And we all know the cost of, that. And
Yeah.
so imagine I come back from school, I'm at home, my daddy is at the hospital, last suit, Lagos State Hospital.
Yeah.
You understand? And it's more of, we are at the hospital, then me, I'm preparing. The reading cannot you
Yeah.
can't read
Yeah.
well. You understand?
Yeah.
So that kind of affected me a bit.
Emotional. Yeah.
You understand? So I finished work. I didn't even get into school that moment. You
Yeah.
understand?
Because of all
And it
that.
is more of the fact that and African parents always
Yeah.
like the people that you're working with, the people you were even that you are
You
better
don't have
than,
to
they got into school, and that kind of affected me some way. If I tell you that I even registered for JAM 3 weeks to when JAM was closing. So JAM was already closing. The new like the following year, I registered like when JAM was closing. So I had like 1 month to
to
even prepare.
prepare.
So I went to a lesson close to the house. You know, I was meeting new faces of people. I did the lesson. Eventually I wrote the exam. I got in. By the time I was even getting in, it's before I could even like get because at that moment, like I said, we spent so much money
Yeah, on
on
the
hospital
treatment.
before we could get the fees for me to start in. And
Yeah.
they had started some weeks ahead. It affected my first semester results. You
Yeah.
understand that it went on like that. Then before I could gain balance, I was actually in my 200 level,
Okay.
right? So the first set of people I even met in school
Yeah.
were even, I wouldn't say the wrong people. You
Okay.
understand?
Yeah.
Imagine there's a saying that if you look at your
And
circle of
four
friends,
or five
if
people
you are the one that
is helping everybody. Is a good
is the
person.
best among them, trust me, you are
Change
not.
that circle.
You understand? So the more that I even started, you started the classes before me.
Yeah, and
When
I'm
I
still
now
doing giving you
exposure,
notes.
so when year two came in, restructuring, I
Yeah.
saw my results first semester. I had to
Reset.
someone reset that, change my friends, start moving. You understand? At least start getting hang of things, and it was more of me, joining a community. I started
Mm-hmm.
joining a community. How I'll still get to the talk of how I even entered tech.
Mm.
Was from school because I was in 200 level, right? And every year I finish my year every semester, not semester, every year end in the
Mm-hmm.
school. I always go for an internship.
Okay.
So when I finished my year one, there was a
Yeah.
woman in my church,
Okay.
right? So I've always loved that. Okay, I want to do tech, but I've not actually like started. So I spoke to the woman. She said that she has an uncle that works in Ogun State Mowe.
Okay.
So I said, okay, no wahala. So I went for interview first. I did well. They said, okay, start. So that time, this was about 2017, 2018. They
Mm-hmm.
said to start paying me 20,000 naira. So imagine
Going to Mowe.
from Bagada to Mowe. When people tell you that they are traveling for Iléyá
Everything.
and Christmas, it might not even be more than that Mowe. That was where I was going every day and coming. And it was more of okay, the fact that my daddy would be like, but don't look at it, it's what you stand to
Yeah.
gain. You understand? So after I did it for like 2 months, I went to go and tell the admin in the office that this
You can't.
salary cannot
You cannot walk.
it cannot work. So they said okay, they increased it to 40,000 naira. You understand? So my last 2 months that I used during the break was 40,000.
40,000.
Finally, I found out that somebody used to pass Charlie Boy Bagada.
Okay, at least you're right.
So right, so as early as five,
Oh my God.
5 minutes back, I'll go and stand in
Wait.
Charlie Boy. As a young person, all these things is just different experiences of life.
Yeah.
You understand? And it's more or less like okay, we are not by what we've gone through.
Yeah.
Right? It's, so I started there, I started following them, those are like, so my very actual job that I got, I've started some internship.
Yes.
After that, I went to Prentivo,
Mm-hmm.
my very actual job that I worked
First
in
job.
Business Women Society in Germany
Mm-hmm.
remotely was through somebody I met
In the first.
in that company.
Wow.
So the guy went to Russia and got a project.
Hmm.
So when he got a project now, he got it and he was like, oh, you know what? I used to see because that COVID time I used to post. I
Okay.
would build Netflix, I would build WhatsApp,
Yeah, I
and I post
remember.
on my status. So people
Yeah. Used
started,
to
and those
respond.
things were just like tutorials I watch on YouTube. So I was
Okay.
putting them into practice. You
Okay.
understand? So I started posting. The guy reached out to me. Abib is his name. Was like, oh, I see that you used to do this. Can you do this?
Hmm.
He sent me the milestones, list of tasks, and I looked at it and I said, I'll collect $700. The guy messaged me, and the $700 before I arrived at that was I spoke to a friend, Daniel Benjamin, that how
Okay.
much can we charge for?
For
Because I
this
didn't want to do it alone. I said let's do it
alone.
together. He said let's do 700. The guy messaged me again. Are you sure?
That is
Because
small money.
that money was small to him. That
Yeah.
was my first.
You know?
That money was when I converted it to naira. I said, this one will do for.
Yeah.
The guy was shocked. He was like, okay,
And you
that
did it.
and I did it. Daniel and I shared the money. The guy, I did that for like a contract job for like a year and plus. And having said that, before that time, I already joined the community,
Yeah.
right, in school, DSC, and like I said, um, all these are part of experiences.
Yeah.
You understand? Even the Bible says that, God knows how to multiply humble beginning.
Mm.
You understand? You see, humble beginning, the moment you start small, it's a building block for something great.
Mm.
You understand? So, and those are like things that, like,
Really
so
shaped you.
if I go deep into how
We'll
everything
get
happened,
there.
so we'll get there. So that's it for me.
Right. And I'm really love you've answered like three questions in this one question, which is fine. I really like how you spoke to all the opportunities that you took. Right. I know, of course, some of them would have been advice, but it's also some of them would have been leaps of faith. I'm sure that there were some things that you did that you didn't at the beginning you didn't know how to do it,
Absolutely.
right? And you still did it, and that is kind of like an angle that it really separates the wheat from the chaff, right? So let's talk about a bit of courage, right? I feel like there's some things that you have done that have separated yourself, right, from your peers. For instance, people who went to school just like you, went around the same time, probably even started before you, and then they finished school. So you were saying, oh, you were doing internships every holiday. I mean, I let's leave background out of it, because in the sense that there's some people who have exactly the same background or even worse, right, that don't take those opportunities. What do you think was pushing you to do those things?
Mm. Like I said, it's still more of personal, it's more or less like hunger, personal hunger.
Wait, stop there. I love it because that's the word I was looking for, right? So if you say hunger, right, and is a thing that I literally want to study, right? Because okay, for instance, I in my organization, two interns came and joined our team, and one person, you know, she's okay. I mean, the person is okay, but not really doing a lot. And the second person is just like, give me work to do, give me work to do. How can I help? And of course, it's endearing in the sense that people want to work with somebody who wants to work. Do you understand? Do you feel that hunger is something that comes just based on personality, or is something that you can learn?
Okay, so I would say it's something you can learn. Let me paint for instance. So my sister is also doing internship currently.
Okay.
So I told you that I have worked with some insurance companies,
Yeah.
right? So either by a contract job or actually a full time job.
Yeah.
So as far back 2021, I worked with Evolutive Technology. It's
Okay.
an insurance company, the insurance aggregators, right? So my sister needed a place for internship, so I didn't want to like. I thought, what, go and source this thing yourself. I just
Okay.
wanted her to
Try,
try because
figure it out.
all these young people you study are used to like, okay, because my other
That
brother is
has
this,
gone ahead.
he can.
Help
So
me.
she spoke to some people, they couldn't help her get. So what? Okay, let me speak to places I've worked before. And
Okay.
I spoke to the CEO, Mr. Kesumila, and he was like, okay, tell your sister to.
Come, bring us
So she
again.
started every day. She works from home. I work from home.
Mm-hmm.
And she's always like, oh, she'll bring her laptop. I see this. How do I respond like this? How do I do
Mm.
this like this? And those are I keep giving her advices, and now I know that even when I tell her to quickly help me do something in the kitchen. Like, no, I'm busy with work.
Mm.
She has formed that hunger because
Mm.
of either by
Association.
association with me,
Mm-hmm.
or the fact that I've also she's also learned it that okay,
Mm.
this is the right way to go. So I would
Mm.
say that hunger can be learned,
Mm.
and as more than it is in a personality. So
Mm.
that's it.
Okay. Okay. So let's go with that. Hunger can be learned. It's something that we're trying to learn, right? So we're going to switch a bit. Let's talk about, because this is the like I said, we are leftists, right? Let's talk about the tech bro CEO angle of you. We can sell our market here, right? But it's fine. So what has made you very interested in, like, because for instance, like, I know a lot of tech bros in that space, and most people are just like, let me find one job with Microsoft, and that's good, and you're also doing that, right? But like, building solutions of your own, why?
Okay. So for me, it, I've done better in leadership roles
Mm.
than actual, just
Grown
normal
to
roles
a
that
task.
you get than. So I've always liked to, or love to, build solutions and lead teams. You
Mm.
understand? And it's more of the fact that, when I see a problem,
Mm-hmm.
you understand? The next thing that comes to my mind is,
Let's
how
solve
can
it.
I solve this? You
Mm.
understand? How can I, look at how can I see opportunity in every problem? You
Mm.
understand? So the moment you develop that mindset, you
Mm.
understand. So they will tell you that there's a that says that United States has most innovations than any country, followed by India, Russia, China.
Mm.
You understand? And the
It's
reason why
because.
is because they are very innovative.
Mm.
And no matter, and let me tell you, no matter any idea you want to bring up right now, trust me, someone
Tried it before.
has tried it before. You understand? So that's it. It's more or less like saying that okay, I'm trying to do a business
Mm-hmm.
and there is no competitor.
Mm.
Trust me, that is not a business. See,
Mm.
the moment you see that there's a competitor doing that business, it means that there's
It's
a market
viable.
there.
Mm.
It's viable, right? And
Yeah.
it's also an opportunity for you to learn and look at how those
How to
people
do
are
it.
doing it
Yeah.
and how you can be better than them.
Mm.
You understand? So I like building stuff. I like looking at people's problem and I try to solve them. Trust me, and there's no limitation.
Mm.
You know, either by there's no limitation. I was in a program yesterday on Zoom. So it was a live program physically, but they were
Mm-hmm.
recording from Zoom. So I was watching from home.
Okay.
So, you know, the the a founder that was there, the guy couldn't talk well. So I
Okay.
think he had this kind of
Stuttering.
right disability, so he
Mm-hmm.
couldn't speak well. But do you know that among all the pitches that were there, he
Mm-hmm.
had the best
Best bit.
pitch,
Mm.
right? And what was he doing? You understand? He's trying to. He said he went to the hospital. He had a skin something that before the dermatologist can. Is try and error. They have to first go try. So he said so he's going to make this solution an app that connects people that have skin with experts,
Okay.
and that's
Straight
it.
up.
And he had the best pitch yesterday. Even
It
so,
is disability.
and the part of the judges yesterday said that you know they didn't look. The guy was spectacular in terms of he didn't use his disability to advantage that okay because I'm disabled please consider me,
Mm.
but he tried. He didn't use that. He didn't even mention
That's in
that
his angle.
in his angle,
In
and
his speech.
so that like made him stood out from every other person.
Person.
So for me, it's more of the fact that my hunger was the fact that I love to solve solutions, and this I'm a second time founder, so and I've taken also startups from point of interest to market
Yeah.
stage. So I know everything that has to do with going from
You've gone through all the
so
emotions.
there's no level that I can't at least attain to that.
Okay, so there's somebody listening to this right now and is thinking to himself, wow, wow, all I need is hunger, a love for solving problems, and I'm sure that everything is going to go great. We need to tell the person that there's some things that also happen. So the one question I want to ask is, Well, just tell us a story of a time that you struggled, right? I know that it couldn't have been rosy all through. Of course, I mean, you're giving us the angle of grief and how that shaped you, right? But even as a tech founder, solution provider, hard worker, and all that, what are times that you struggled, and what do you think you struggled with, and how can we learn from that? Something like an advice from that.
Okay, so another time is the most of if I tell you that most of the jobs I've gotten,
Yeah.
right, are by true friends. Networking is important, even in every line of business. Networking is very very important. Right, your first sellers are your even family and friends, your
Yeah.
friends, and also so there's a time whereby I've always had jobs,
Mm-hmm.
right? I always have something doing. I've
Yeah.
always and yeah, guess to every human's life, there's this exponential level you will get to whereby at least that time. For straight 3 months last year, I couldn't even get a contract job. So I had to rely on funds I had saved. And
Mm.
I was like, am I doing I went that was the time by different thinking start coming to you. I went to check
Yeah.
my
What's
CV.
wrong with me?
Maybe the CV is already let me
It's
go and
getting old.
let me go
Let me
and change the
update.
CV again and update it. I updated it, I didn't even get a job. And the moment that I even stopped worrying about it was when I actually got
Got
the
a
role.
job.
Right.
Mm.
So struggle is part of every
Life.
human's life. And the reason why I keep saying the Bible, I keep referring to the Bible is because, I'm a true believer, right? And even Paul in the Bible begged God at some point and said, please, like,
Help me.
help me, like, this pain, this. But what was the response? He said, through
But
every
still,
pain, there's light. Like so, this like he said, so Paul went further and said, I delight in
in
pain.
this
I
struggle, because
delight
I know
in this
that,
because out of that
yeah,
comes
always
light,
good things.
good things from for him, right? So those moments, trust me, anybody that's watching this is more or less like the regular talk you see everywhere. You
Yeah.
understand? There's hope.
Yeah.
So
At the end of the tunnel.
so that's more or less like it. So grief is I don't see grief as anything. I don't see it as I just keep believing. Even now I'm going through some grief that it's just a normal building block of every woman's life. So until you
Mm.
learn to see that pain is part of their life, then you have to move on from it. Yeah.
Yeah, but I hope you settle in the, as in, I hope you think about it, that you, like, your mental health is good when you talk about, you say pain is part of everything, but I know pain is part of it. But I hope you ruminate and, like, walk through.
Ah, well in that mental health part, I think everybody needs to look at how you can at least if
Like an
some
outlet.
yes, that you can be doing that at least can help you
Get through it.
get through it. For me, it is. I just there's no street in this bedroom, but I don't know.
You
I
walk.
can just start walking, and
Oh my god.
so when I walk and
Think.
just think and reflect, and sometimes you know that idea can just come from. If I tell you how I mean, like I said, I'm a second time founder.
Yeah.
How I came about this idea. It's not even the fact that I was even the one that brought up the idea.
Mm.
It was a friend that brought it up,
Mm-hmm.
right? But I redefined it,
Mm.
right? It was more of, and even the friend and I, we didn't even talk again. Because
It
of this
happens.
idea.
Oh wow.
So that's another story.
Mm-hmm.
Then, so that kind of thing about mental health and just need to find and make sure that there's a balance. You understand? We are humans. Don't forget the human part of you that you
Yeah.
need to care for your mental health.
Yeah. Okay, so going through the motions, right? We've spoken about things that shaped you in your youth. Also thinking about hunger and how it can be learned. Talking about work, discipline, being very important. But now I just want you to give someone out there who, like, is presently, like, he can't see all this future. He can't see that he can solve problems. He can't see that there's a light at the end of the tunnel. He can't see anything. All he knows is that I'm young and I'm from a disadvantaged background, and everything is looking not good for me, right? And he needs advice from an older version of himself, right? To say, what should I do? Look at the camera and tell this
So
person.
about what you should do,
Yeah.
I would say what you have to do and what you should do is inside you. I'll refer again to the Bible. when God was speaking to Moses, He didn't give Moses a staff. It was what he already had before, which was the staff in his hand. So whatever you need to succeed is in you. Just figure that out, and that can be through praying. And in every aspect of your life, trust me, there's always going to be pain. And we are who we are. We are not who we are by what we do or what we've come to. How we respond to those challenges. So that's what I'll say to you. So
Wow.
God,
Wow, I know who we are, but what we do, Abby, but how we've gone through, or how we go through those challenges. That's awesome. Thank you so much, Femi, for gracing us on our podcast. And guys, this is the evidence that we know when the tech solutions, right? Right, we know him. We know this. There's evidence. All right. So thank you so much for. But I'll just say bye bye to.
bye.